everybody, it's your girl Vicky O. I'm here to give you some wonderful workout tips for all my curvy, thick girlies who are starting or continuing their pole journey. I know that sometimes when you have a little something to give, trying to do certain pole moves can be a challenge. So I'm just here to kind of share with you what conditioning skills or conditioning tricks have helped me on my pole journey to kind of help grow so I can advance and do more moves. So for me, the main thing is your core, because until I got my core together, I was not going anywhere. Like even like basic stuff like just required so much core. So I'm going to show you some moves that some exercises that I do to help build my core that have just been really beneficial to me. And then, so a lot of these exercises can be done without any kind of equipment. I do have an exercise ball, so I'll show you a couple of the moves with the exercising ball if you want to add a challenge. But these moves have just been, or these exercises have been just amazing for me. So I want to share so that, you have a little extra, a couple extra tools in your belt that you can use as you build your pole journey. So check it out. So this right here is my exercise ball. I got it a couple years ago and it's just been amazing. Do I use it every day? Of course not. But it's just really good and it allows me to do really cool workout things, both on and off the pole. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is show you one of the chillest exercises that you can do. This one requires no equipment, but then I'm going to show you a progression. Or that's not a progression. I'm going to show you another thing that kind of addresses the same area with an exercise ball that you can do if you don't want to be over on all fours busting it open like a crab. Okay, you're not busting it open like a crab. Whatever. If you don't want to be on all fours, I'm going to show you, or if it's hard, or if it's hard on your knees, I'm going to show you an alternate version with the exercise ball. So I'm going to get in my tabletop here. Ow, shake it. Sorry, I always have to do that. So I'm going to get in my tabletop here. And then I'm going to kind of put my knees at about shoulder width apart. And then my hands kind of flat on the ground if you can see me. And then I'm going to just go into my regular cat-cows. So I'm going to arch and tuck. Arch and tuck. And so you want to do, I like to do maybe 15, 20 of these to kind of warm up my back before I progress to the next thing. And so the next thing is a little push. So I'm on the top of my toes, if you can see it. And so the next time that the next time that I arch up, cow? Oh, wait, which one is which? Sorry, brain freeze. So the next time I arch up, I want to push into my top of my toes, push my hands into the ground, tuck my hips under, I call it, imagine if you have an ice cream scoop and you're scooping the ice cream up with your lower area. So that's what you want to do. When I go up, I want to push into the ground, push onto the top of my toes, and scoop up, push, and then arch to come down. And then I'm going to scoop up, push, arch to come up. And if you can see me, I think you can see me, I'm pushing my knees off the ground and then coming and arching. And then pushing here and then coming. And I like to do about 10 of these, sometimes less, because that's kind of an intense stretch for me, especially when you're starting off. Especially when you're pushing and holding it, because I'll push and then maybe hold for a second or two before lowering. And if your core is not used to that, if your core is not ready for that, that is a lot. So I would say for the push-up, maybe start with 3 or 4, test your core, and then once you get more comfortable, maybe start adding it up to 5 and then 8 and then 10 and then going until you're ready. But that's one that I just really like because it kind of mimics the engagement that you'll need in your inverts. And so it kind of warms me up, especially when I'm getting ready to do an invert, to let me know what kind of scoop action that I'm going to need when I'm right up in my invert. So that's the floor on all knees version. Another option is that you can get Precious exercise ball and you can sit on it here. So this is a really good one to do when you're maybe at home watching TV or reading a book or something, or heck, even if you're eating, okay, don't do it while you're eating. But what you want to do is you want to sit. Can you see me? Toot it up. Okay, so I'm sitting on the ball, and I want to have my knees kind of out so I can have a nice full twerk, or sorry, not twerk. My mind went somewhere else. But I want to arch and tuck, arch and tuck. So it's the same cat-cow motion. You just don't have that the ground, but I'm just rolling here and arching here, and it gives me that same kind of feeling of tucking up and pulling up. And also, this one sometimes can even be better. So like if you have a pole at home, or if you're ever like at the studio and your studio has an exercise ball, do this next to the pole. Like put the pole here and then do these rocks here because it's upright. And so you can actually take it, have the pole in your strong arm grip, arch, tuck, and then start trying to lean up. I'm doing this with an imaginary pole here. And that'll help kind of work on that engagement that you need for inverting, but you're not having to actually invert, and you have the support of your exercise ball. So you can do this without the pole, just arch, tuck, or with the pole here, arch, tuck, and then maybe start trying to lift your legs up. So that's one of the ones that I really, really enjoy. So hollow body, we want to lay on our back, and we want to do that tucking or that scooping motion, and then I'm going to lift my legs about 6 inches off the ground, and then my arms about 6 inches off the ground. So hollow body here, 6 here, and then just hold this position here for as long as you can. It's like a reverse plank. Oh, I'm talking through it. Woo, go me. But holding this position, maybe start with like a 10-second hold, and then see if you can progress to like a 15-second hold, and then see if you can progress to like maybe a 30-second hold. Did I say that already? No. And then just see how long you can hold it. I think in most of the classes that I've gone to, if you can hold it for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, you're good. That takes some time to build up to. I remember when I started with this one, I was like, you got 10 seconds and then I'm tapping out. So this is definitely one that you want to baby step. It's probably not going to hold up long when you first start, but as you get more comfortable and your core gets stronger, then you'll be able to kind of hold it. And what's good is that hollow body shape, it goes across for like most or a lot of aerials. So if you train that now in pole or whatever aerial you do, you can hop with that same skill into other aerials. So again, that one is here, and then just trying to hold it here. You can even play with how high or how low that you go. You just want to make sure that you have that scooping sensation or that tuck under, so that there's no gap in the low back here, because you want to really engage those muscles. So that's a good one that I like to do. Another one that I like to do is the rolls. So this one becomes a challenge because you would think doing like a banana roll is super chill, super easy, but it's not. It's actually very hard. So we're going to get into our hollow body here, and then keeping this shape, I'm going to roll, keep everything straight, hold. And then I'm going to try to go back and hold the shape here, and then try to hold and hold the shape here. You see how much stress that was? That was a lot. So trying to do that maybe like 4 or 5 times, and you can roll it in both directions. I didn't do it both directions for this purpose because I don't have a lot of room in my living room to do it, but you can roll and maybe find like an open space and then just roll, trying to keep that hollow body shape across the floor, back and forth, maybe 2 or 3 times. That is a great core workout. You want to make sure that everything's tight, everything's locked out, and that you're really using that core to try to rotate. But that is a really, really good exercise, and making sure that everything stays strong, like nice, tight, sturdy, and strong. Because a lot of times in pole we'll get all like loosey-goosey, and that kind of makes it hard to engage and keep everything solid, and it makes it more work. And one of my mottos is work smarter, not harder. So you want to really like to keep it like that. So that's call it banana rolls. I don't know if that's the actual term for it, but that's what I like to call it. It's a banana roll. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones to do because it doesn't feel like you're working out, but it definitely is a workout. Because you can definitely, like, if you have some friends, like, get a group of y'all and just start trying to race the banana rolls, and then try to keep that core. And it feels less workouty and more like, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? Rolly type thing. So I like those that don't feel like a workout. So for this next exercise, I had to shift the angle a little bit. So what I like to do is called candlesticks. These are best performed for me when I'm at a pole. But my pole is in another room that does not have space to work out. So I'm going to show it to you using my chair. You can use a chair. You can use the edge of your couch. I can use this coffee table if I want to. You just want to have a nice sturdy surface so that you can use it to help counteract the effort that it takes to lift your legs. So let me rotate the camera so you can see my legs here. All right. All right, so I'm here. I'm gonna lay on my back. I'm gonna cup underneath whatever surface that I have. I wanna start with my legs straight, and then you wanna go back to that like tucked, scooped under hollow body-ish shape. And then you're gonna take your legs, so make sure that there's no space between your low back. You're gonna take your legs, lift, and then reach up, and then come down. Lift your hips off the ground, come down. Lift, hips off the ground, and come down. So keeping my legs together, I'm squeezing my core, using my hips to thrust up to get my legs up, and then trying to control that descent. So what you don't want to do is to come up and then No, you want to go up here and then control it down. Up here, control it down. When you first start these, they probably will be like, girl, what? Like, it takes a while to get to where you can control it. But if even if you're getting like here, that's a start. Because in pole, you want to be able to lift your hips off the ground without using any other like body part. So it's better to focus on that area and then like, build than just like, use like other stuff to lift off. If that's like easy, like, oh, I got that, you can also bring back this trusty little exercise ball. Again, put it between your legs and then, whoops, hold on, can you see it? Lift. Oh, shoot. Ugh. Lift. I'm only going to do 2 of those because that is a lot. That's a lot. That's a really great exercise. Again, start off very small. Like, I've been doing these specific workouts for maybe about like 3-ish years. So I've built up some core, but when I started these, I looked a hot mess. So please start small with these. But they do help. You just have to commit to them. Because it wasn't until I started doing them in class for the pole conditioning class that I used to, for the pole conditioning class that I teach, that I got like real solid at it. But when I first started, I was like, oh Lord. But they do work. Like, I'm actually like really surprised in my own personal progress with these. But yeah, you can use your couch, you can use a coffee table, you can use like a bookshelf, just something that won't shift when you use your hands to hold it. And then just try to get the legs up, get the hips up. You want to really like thrust your hips up. I say like you're kind of like, like that little gyrating motion. I don't know what to call it. But just doing that will really help. And then over time, you'll really start to develop a nice solid core. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one. The last one that I have for you is my toe touches. So no, we're not doing the cheerleader toe touch. We're just doing a simple touching down of the toes onto the floor. So we have a couple of options, progressions and variations. So again, I'm gonna lay here on my back, tuck my hips under, make sure there's no space in that low back. I'm gonna bring my knees up to my chest. And then, or not to my chest, I'm gonna bring my knees up to a 90-degree angle and then tap down, lift. tap down, lift. And I'm just using my low core to lift. I'm not using any other body part, but just here. So I like doing these because it targets that area. It's a pretty chill, well, not chill, because they are, after you do a couple, you're like, oh Lord. But it's just pretty like low effort. Okay, that's, again, not the right word. I like doing them. You can also progress it by grabbing my ball, put it between my knees here, keep everything tight, keep everything tucked under, and then widening here. And it is so much harder with this ball than it is without. But you see how this ball can be used. That's 2 exercises now that I'm using this ball for. And it's amazing. Here, you can even do it with straight legs. Oh God. Oh my God, why would I do that? Oh man. You can even do it with straight legs. Again, when you're starting these core things, please start small, especially if you haven't trained your core like ever, because you will catch a cramp in your core, and that is not a feeling that you want. What I like to do to kind of, if I feel my core getting tight, I'll roll over and do a nice cobra here, just to kind of get that counter stretch. Here you can also do some like child's poses too, to kind of, hold on, let me do it right, child's pose here, get a nice little stretch there to kind of calm everything down. But yeah, I just said, I'm tired. That was a lot of work. But yeah, those are just some of the exercises that I like to do, and I hope you can try them out. Let me know in the comments if you tried them out and they work for you. Yeah, so what do you think?